So get this, courtesy of Zero Hedge. Now, keep in mind, we've had MF Global. We've now had PFG Best. There was also some talk about a company in Canada shortly after MF Global, where their exchange, their CFTC basically, which is not called that over there in Canada, but ultimately came out and advised everybody, you should probably get your money out of this particular broker or brokerage firm, whatever, clearinghouse, because they're looking like another MF Global. I haven't heard anything else since then. We also have the old glitch, the banking glitch, and then the stock markets. You've heard from time to time the Russian market, stock market was down for 15 minutes, or usually a lot longer than that. You know, little exchanges here and there, you know, glitch and problem, you know, it's all technical stuff. So, this is courtesy, of course, Zero Hedge. Earlier today, this was yesterday, earlier today, the Spanish exchange was down for nearly 5 hours. Now, let's keep in mind, this is the same gigantic economy, Spain, as far as the Eurozone is concerned. This is no little Greece, or even Portugal, or even Ireland. This is Spain, huge economy. And as I've been mentioning for 100 years now, they are in deep trouble, just like the rest of them. Once they hit that 6% bond interest rate, they're done. It's been hovering around 7 for a while now. It's the writing on the wall. No matter what the Prime Minister said, I told you it was a lie. We're fine, we don't need money, blah, blah. It's a lie. We're there now. Those people are there now. And you don't suppose people are pulling their money out of their stock market and whatnot left and right, do you? And this little, the reason is unclear, is the reason. And when they do give a reason, which I haven't even checked, but it doesn't even matter if the reason came out yet, because the reason is crap. It's fake. We had a computer glitch. We had a little network problem, right? You know what I mean? Nonsense. So, he says, perhaps as a form of pre-crime punishment to all those felons who would even consider selling stocks in the future, now that what he calls Skynet from the Terminator movies, Skynet self-awareness wave goes east just as Japan opens and takes down all Tokyo derivative trading. So that was earlier. Spanish stock exchange was down. What's this about Japan? What? First headline, company spokesman Neo Takashi spoke in a phone interview. Tokyo Stock Exchange Group stopped trading of Topix futures, JGB futures, and options from around. Next one. Tokyo Stock Exchange stops derivatives trades. Cites system error-BBG. Tokyo Stock Exchange stops derivative trades. Cites, again, system error, glitch. And as I said before, not that long ago, because I was just covering the second thing of the second, basically, MF Global, so to speak, which was that PFG Best. And by the way, they're trying to subpoena records from JP Morgan, because once again, somehow JP Morgan got money from PFG Best right before they went bankrupt, and somehow the customers lost their money, but JP Morgan got its. Again, just like an MF Global, and they're refusing to comply right now. We don't think what they're asking for is necessary. We don't want to shed light on, of course, us getting paid and your customers getting screwed. That's a whole other story. But this, due to system error. And I said we're going to start hearing more of these glitches and system errors and whatever problems. They're just going to hear more of it. They're not going to tell you there's a run on a bank, there's a run on the stock market basically, or massive selling in the stock market, people trying to get out. And again, you might ask yourself, well, if there's so many people trying to get out, I mean, how is the market basically staying afloat? And over the last few days, we're back over, once again, for the 1,000th time, we're back over 13,000 Dow. Wouldn't it be plummeting if everyone was pulling their money out of the Spanish stock market and this Tokyo stock market? In theory, yeah. But when you have government running behind the scenes with their computers, buying up all of the crap when they want to buy up all the crap, letting all that crap dive down and cause a stock market crash when they want to let the stock market crash, you're not going to see it. So everyone will sit by and say, well, it must be a glitch, because looking at the stocks today or yesterday or tomorrow, man, they don't, I mean, even if they're up a little bit or down a little bit, I don't see where a halting of the stock exchange because massive selling and stuff, I don't see it. The prices don't reflect that. So maybe there must truly be, not even maybe, there must be absolutely a glitch. And by chance, it's glitch after glitch after glitch. And even though there's these glitches, trading gets halted, your bank accounts get halted if it's a bank that had the glitch. And then it seems to be fixed and then it comes back online. Interesting. So out of all these years, while technology is getting better, computers and servers are getting faster, internet connections, fiber optics, etc., getting superior compared to what we had, we're having more glitches now than we ever had before. And again, technology should be improving all these things. Yet, at the most pristine time, we're finding that there's a glitch. Pristine time as in, we're losing control. People are pulling their money out of all kinds of things. Shut them down. Don't let them crash our stock market. Because if we crash our stock market, it may cause a stampede. So let's stop the stock market from the stampede right now, the mini stampede, and don't allow anyone to trade for a while. Let everyone cool off, and right before the market closes, we'll open back up and have everybody settle back down, etc. And if that's not good enough, the government will itself step in, behind the scenes, of course, and just buy up everything and keep the stock market safe. That is the exact definition of what the plunge protection team was put in power for in 1989 by Ronald Reagan on his way out, except it's not really called the plunge protection team. It's called the President's Working Group on Financial Matters, and they have a direct tie-in with the Treasury and the Federal Reserve. And again, if you look that up and then see who that consists of, that I already forgot the name, the plunge protection team, but again, the President's Working Group on Financial Matters, and see who that consists of. You'll see the top, but you'll see Timothy Geithner. You'll see someone from probably the CFTC, Security and Exchange Committee. All of the club top people that the club has put in those places, they're in charge of that too. So that also means when the day comes where there is a massive, destructive stock market collapse, and it's coming soon, it also means they made it happen and allowed it to finally happen without their computer or plunge protection team stepping in this time to do it, because now they're ready for it to crash. But what if you're not ready for it to crash and you were counting on retirement? Sorry about your luck. You should have enjoyed it while we stepped in for all these last 10 years or so, or more. You should have enjoyed our manipulation, even though we crashed it in 2008 to get some laws passed and then brought it back up. You should be thankful for that. Don't hate us for manipulating things and catching you at the wrong time. We're the government. You can't hate us. You have to love us. So here we have two things. Tokyo Stock Exchange stops, and this is the key word, as Lindsey Williams said, when you start to hear the word derivatives being mentioned, not by me on YouTube or the mainstream, whatever, articles, news, etc., you start to hear the word derivatives and you start to see cracks in those derivatives, so to speak, you'll know it's coming. It's coming soon. The collapse. This is a hit on Lindsey Williams here. Again, Tokyo Stock Exchange stops derivatives trades. So then everyone who would read this as just normal news, I wonder why derivatives only. So then they're going to go search the internet for more news. Again, they don't have to go to conspiracy sites. Just simply search for news on the internet, whether it's CNN or whoever comes up. Type that exchange stops derivatives trades and poke into why derivatives, and they're going to see maybe the reason. And they're going to sit there, and if they say, again, cite system error, so then they'll find that conclusion, system error. Well, what about the other parts of the exchange? What about everything else that they allow to be traded on that exchange? Oh, they were fine. But derivatives were the ones that weren't. Correct. That may spark an average sheeple mind. That may be good enough. And they'll just, okay, well, never mind, I'll go about my business. But then there's going to be those people who are slight sheepish, maybe fully sheepish, but just decide something doesn't sound right. Why would a derivative only, if an exchange is an exchange? I mean, the thing works regardless of what you're trading. So I want to delve a little deeper. What's a derivative? And then they go research it. And then by researching it, they're going to quickly see the number of worldwide amounts of these derivatives, which are in the $600-800 trillion range. And then they're going to realize, oh, if they're halfway intelligent, they'll realize, oh, that's why it was halted. a derivative is a financial weapon of mass destruction. How could it be 700, 800 trillion? There's not even that much money in the world. And then that's going to hopefully spark another thought in their mind. I want to see how these derivatives got that high. And then they'll come in to realize it's all leveraging crap, just hocus pocus magic leveraging, turned, 80 or 90 trillion of worldwide wealth, whatever, money, into 8, 9, whatever, thousand trillion or a quadrillion at that point of debt somehow. And then they'll realize, well, how and why did that happen? How could that even be allowed to leverage something that you don't even have? It's like me pulling $1 out and then going like this and it just turned into $10. But for all intents and purposes, there's not really 9 extra dollars. I still have the $1. But the financial system recognizes that this $1, because I've snapped my fingers actually twice, 1, 2. You gotta snap them perfectly. 1, 2. Not 1, 2. That's too slow. You gotta snap them kind of quick. 1, 2. That's the magic one. Oh, the financial system sees that. Okay, old Jason 4, his dollar turned into $10. He got to play with $9 extra for the cost of his $1. And if he wins, he gets all the profit. If he loses, he's going to get a margin call. Unless you're one of the big banks. If you're one of the big banks, you don't get a margin call. You get a Federal Reserve backdoor window at 0% interest rate to then lend out to the sheeple at multiple interest rates, or realizing that the economy sucks because of what you've done. It's not a good idea to give the sheeple more lending money. So take that 0% interest rate, park it right back at the fellow who gave it to you, which is the Federal Reserve, at 1% or 2%, whatever it is, interest rate, and then earn millions and millions of dollars off of the hundreds of billions, technically, that these banks have got. Trillions, actually, if you add all the banks. So is it a no-brainer as a CEO of a bank? Do I want to lend to some sheep peasant who's not going to pay it back? The chances of him defaulting nowadays are high. And then I lose all that potential revenue and the loss of the originating amount, the principal. Or do I just take it from the Fed at 0%, go do a circle right where I'm standing and then hand it right back to Ben Bernanke and say, here, give me 1 full percent interest on this. 1% interest on billions of dollars is millions and millions of dollars. Lots of profit to be made. Isn't that interesting? You, on the other hand, you got to go to a bank. And if your credit's prestigious, perfect. Well, okay, we'll lend to you. We'll make an exception. We'll lend to you. Here's a loan at 5%. We used to do this for 7 and 8%, Here's one for 5. That should make you happy. And most people it does. Yeah, that's a pretty good rate. Not knowing, they got it for free. Simply for free. They don't even have to meet the capital, as Greg was talking about, Greg Vegas the other day, or today or yesterday. They don't even have to meet the capital requirements. If you looked in the healthcare bill, as I mentioned before, I'm pretty sure it was the healthcare bill. I'm pretty sure. It says right there, reserves on hand for banks, which was a fraction of a percent to begin with. It was like less than 1% reserves on hand in order, if you have X amount of loans out there, you've got to have let's just call it 1%. 1% of reserves on hand. So if you have $100 on loan, you better have $1 in your vault, so to speak. If you have $1 million, right, 1% of that. And it's ridiculous. And after the financial crisis, of course, and only because of it's just going to be temporary, we have to allow banks to lend money without having any reserves on hand anymore. And that was in that law. So much for healthcare, huh? Now you know why they had to pass these things and stick them into healthcare bills and other crap to get them passed. Now, they need no capital, they need no reserves, it's just a free-for-all. But, meanwhile, while they don't have to have capital, while they don't have to have reserves, if you default on that loan, lawyer, send a letter to you, we're suing you, we're going after you, unless you file bankruptcy and qualify. If you don't qualify for bankruptcy, well, then you're going to have to fight it through the court if you even do that. The average person doesn't know how to do it, can't afford a lawyer, so they'll get a default judgment. The bank will then forcefully get that money from you, even though you can't afford it. Even though the bank got it for free. The bank got it for free from the Fed at 0%, basically. And was said, here, now we're just not going to give you money. Here's billions of dollars. Go have fun. Go play. So, the elite's agenda looks like it's maybe stalled a little bit, according to Lindsey Williams, but it is on track regardless as far as the time, the event list. Maybe the timeline expanded a little bit, but the events are still there. It's still happening. We haven't even heard a peep out of the 35% margin hike that was supposed to take place August 5th, this past Sunday. Where is that? What happened? Someone on my website posted a link to the Indian version from India of Reuters, in.reuters.com. It's India's version of theirs. And there was one article there that actually was posted. It said July 24th that they're going to get an extension. Nowhere else could I find that. And I've been searching for the last 2 weeks because I was getting prepared for this 35% margin hike. Meanwhile, okay, we've got until August, I think, or October 9th now. October 7th, 8th, or 9th, somewhere around there, according to the thing from India. And from the looks of it, it must be right, because there was no margin hike. As a matter of fact, they lowered silver margins, maintenance and initial margin, 11%. We need to pull some more people back in so we can clean out some more people. We'll have our up days, down day, and we'll clean out some more people. Now, if the crash was supposed to be happening right now, and there wasn't a delay in Lindsey Williams' timeline, then I think I'd be reading to you right now about the 35% margin hike, destroyed the commodities, which also pulled down the stock market, oh my God, etc. But they're postponing it. We're not ready yet. So enjoy your little retirement nest egg right now until another few more months. Then we're going to destroy the market, says the elite, and then you can cry. So that's all I got for you. Take care.